Welcome, everyone. How's it going? It's Casey here. Let me know if you can hear me or see me. You guys should be coming into the room. It's about 12:04. Some of you will be arriving. You will probably try to refresh the page. We are going live. If you are coming into the room right now, then you could probably see that. So I'm just checking to make sure that this room looks good. Everything looks like it's working okay. I'm going to make mention to the folks in the Easy Webinar group that we're going live now. So let me just quickly do that. People, I'm assuming, sorry, just moving my mic there. I'm assuming people were refreshing the page to come on in. We are now live in the room. There we go. Let me just, this itch right here, weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you guys are here, you can see me or hear me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't wait to start this live Q&A all about essentially Elite Webinar Mastery. Now, for those who don't know what Elite Webinar Mastery is, this is my coaching program all about webinars, right? Whether you're trying to do live webinars, automated webinars, whether you're trying to launch a product around webinars, that's what this particular program is all about. So you should be coming into this room right now, and you should see that we are obviously officially live, right? So let me know when you can see me and hear me. I'm going to actually start up while we do that. I'm going to start up a Periscope as well at the same exact time. So let me just do this here. Close that down. Open up Periscope. Actually, first I want to just make sure that you guys can see and hear what I'm saying. Okay. Just want to verify if you can see or hear me. Do mention in the question box next to us that you are here, that you can in fact see and hear what I'm saying. I would really appreciate that. That helps me to know that you can see me, you can hear me, everything is kind of working okay, that we are going live right now, and you guys are here seeing what I'm talking about. Please let me know once you can do that. Okay, let me just check something very quickly here. All right. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that looks good. Let me just push play here. Awesome. So we are officially live. Okay, so now I'm going to post in the room that we are going officially, and then we are going to we're going to start up. So again, I have questions that we already put together. I am live talking about Elite Webinar Mastery and the coaching program. Webinars. Yes, all about webinars. Sorry. All about webinars. All about webinars. Okay, let me just post that. All right. And now let me go into here. Hold on a second. Go into my Infusionsoft. Just let everybody know that we are live. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me just send this out, send out a broadcast. We are officially live. Choose a template. So we'll just use this one. We are live. Edit this. Hold on one second. We are officially live. Join me in the room now by clicking the link below. There we go. Easy. All right, hold on. Copy. Insert. Okay. Save. All right. Save draft. Next. Okay, there we go. Welcome, you guys. If you're coming in, I'm just sending out emails to folks just as an FYI. That's what we're doing right now. I'm getting emails set up to go out to let everybody know that we are officially live right now. Okay, and I'm going to start a Periscope here. Hold on one second. All right, hold on. Actually, yeah, Periscope, EWM. Lead webinar mastery live Q and A webinars coaching and business. Okay. Now, one final thing, I want to make sure that I am hardwired in. So I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi. Hopefully it won't disrupt the page. Let me just check. Later. Okay. Just make sure the page is still going. Yep, we're good. Awesome. I'm going to refresh this page, just make sure. Okay, there we go. Now, starting this up. There we go. Okay. All right, so you know what? I'm going to put my microphone in a different spot. Hold on one second. One second, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, so hey, what's going on? Everyone who's joining me in the room, this is what we're going to be talking about. We are talking about webinars. We're talking about the Elite Webinar Mastery Program. We're talking about your questions about this particular program, but also questions about webinars in general. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Casey Zeman. I'm the founder of Easy Webinar and Fullscope.tv. I create training and software designed to help you build a business and brand you love. And I have a coaching program that did you get a haircut? Yes, I did. I did get a haircut, Ben. I have a coaching program that I just launched out that is live right now called Elite Webinar Mastery. And what it is, it's essentially about webinars, everything you want to know about webinars, for doing live webinars, but also more importantly, automated webinars and launching with webinars, which is really, really important. And right now we have some people coming into the room. People are coming and watching this live video. And I wanted to take an opportunity to answer your questions about webinars, but also about this particular program. If you have questions about it, what it is, how does it work, okay? Now, for those who are on my list and those who've been getting emails from me, you know what this is about. This is essentially a few different things rolled into one. Elite Webinar Mastery, I don't know if you can see over here, but Elite Webinar Mastery is a coaching program that consists of 4 core modules where we actually talk about the webinar foundation, right? The actual foundation of what your webinars are all about, okay? This helps, we actually help you with understanding what kind of slides you have to have in your webinars, the platforms, the presentation software, how they work, what you can promote, how to figure out what kind of webinar you're going to do, who is that webinar for. All of these things are a part of our first module, which is the webinar foundation. The second module in this program is the pre-webinar setup and everything you do before you do a webinar. So everywhere from setting up the webinar pages, setting up the funnel, having that first webinar recorded, you know, or at least your presentation done, and then promoting the webinar. That's kind of the pre-phase, you know, the kind of the starting phase before the webinar actually starts, right? And then there's the middle module, which is all about when you go live and the things that you do. Now, because this program is not only about using live webinars, but also automated webinars, it teaches essentially how to go live for an automated webinar as well. And for those who don't know what an automated webinar is essentially a webinar that has the look and feel of live without you having to be there. So you can run a live broadcast to your audience, right? And you could be doing other things like gardening or hanging out with your family or bungee jumping or, skydiving, whatever your interests are. It's a funnel that's built around the engagement of webinars where it's you not having to be there. It's the definition of scalability, right? And so that middle module is all about how do you still have engagement in an automated webinars, but also how do you have engagement through your webinars in the live aspect and still make sales, right? Still make sales, get people to purchase even when it's automated. And then the fourth and final module is all about the post-webinar. And this is after the live experience happens. Whether that live experience is pre-recorded as that automated webinar or live, okay? This is still what you do after the fact. And this is where I'm rolling in, which is really awesome, my training that's all about the event launch blueprint, which essentially is essentially how you can increase your sales with a webinar promotion. See, most people, when they're doing a webinar, they only do a live webinar and maybe a replay. But what I teach is a 4-step system of doing a webinar event, one-time event, rebroadcast event, timed replay, and then an automated webinar. So it's all of those rolled into one. And now in my Elite Webinar Mastery, I'm including another training that I had, a coaching program that I had called Launch Stream, which was all about essentially that webinar promotion cycle, right? With four different types of events. And that's now included in my Elite Webinar Mastery program, right? My program now consists of what we call Launch Stream, okay? Also a part of this particular program is Easy Webinar. Now, for those who don't know, I'm the founder of Easy Webinar, a software that does both live and automated webinars. Soon I'm gonna actually show you guys some of what our customers are doing with Easy Webinar. Some customers that are out there are like Amy Porterfield, Dale Partridge, Ryan Lee, many other people are using the software. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of what their pages look like pretty soon here. But what we're doing is we're including in my Elite Webinar Mastery program essentially Easy Webinar for 12 months. It's free for 12 months, okay? It's free for 12 months. And this program is really designed for launching using the power of webinars and, in my opinion, the scalability factor. So if you've already done a webinar before, let's say, maybe you've even made sales on a webinar, this program is going to be the program that's going to take you to that next level of scalability. Leveraging automation, okay? Things like the follow-up, like what do you send out to people that maybe didn't show up to the webinar? Do you send them a replay? Do you send them a rebroadcast? How do you incentivize them to come to that broadcast? And a few other things. There are certain things you can do to make people come to those events and actually, obviously, first you're incentivizing them to come, and then, of course, they purchase later on. So I want to see if there are any particular questions that you guys may have about the program. For those who have been asking about it, what kind of questions do you have? How do you run the banner below? The banner below right now this is me using Google Hangouts. So for those who are coming in to Periscope, I'm running a Google Hangout right now. Here, I can show you what this kind of looks like if you want. I'm running an Easy Webinar live event right now, and everyone's mentioning and talking about my lower third there, which essentially has my name and my logo. Well, that is a part of what you can do with Google Hangouts and YouTube Live along with Easy Webinar. That's really what this is about. And you maybe notice that this page looked completely different about 30 minutes ago, where this video was different, it was smaller, and a Vimeo video was in here. Well, now with Easy Webinar, what's cool is that you can have one link and send it out, and you can change it. You can change that page dynamically to whatever you want. In fact, I could send everybody to a countdown page, which would then redirect everybody into the room itself, which is actually very cool. And all these things we talk about in this program because as the founder of this software, I want you to become super proficient at it. I want you to know all the flexibility you have around it, from running a live webinar to then going automated to taking one URL, one link, and allowing people to go through it over and over again. So you don't always have to send out different links and things like that, right? Because that can be kind of tedious, sending out different links, right? So that's really part of what this program is all about. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through some specific questions that people have asked, okay? And this might pertain to you, and if it does, let me know, of course. If it does pertain to you, yeah, I'd love to know. So let me quickly find these questions. Hold on one second. I need to go into EliteWebinarMastery.com. And if you guys want to know more about the program, you can go to EliteWebinarMastery.com/live. For those who are coming through Periscope, EliteWebinarMastery.com/live. Okay, let me go through just some questions. Do you have to be selling a product in the webinar? This is the thing. I use free live webinars to just build my list. You don't have to be selling anything. You could be just using webinars to build your email list to start, okay? And then with that process of building your email list, eventually you're gonna sell something. But the beautiful thing is that you could start off simply by just building up that email list and offering up free webinars. In fact, that is probably one of the best strategies for building an email list in the first place. Offer free webinars to a community, invite them to that community where they have to sign up to your email list to do so. And then once they do, you teach them something of value, right? And then after teaching them something of extreme value, you then take them through the process where they then they can become maybe a coaching student of yours, right? Here's the thing, even if you don't have a product yet, a lot of people say to me, Casey, what if I don't have a product yet? Because that could be 50% of you guys to more, where you may not have a product yet. You have maybe a service, but you're trying to figure out what to sell. Well, here's what you can do. At the end of the day, why don't you just sell a coaching program? Why don't you just sell 3 or 4 live sessions with the person where you help them with something, right? You take 4 weeks. Each week you meet for an hour or two and then by the end you show them what they'll be able to do. So like for instance, through this course, which is essentially it's a membership platform with 6 live classes, right? 6 live classes. By the end of this program, you will have a webinar up and going and running. Now, whether that webinar is just you in front of the camera, just like this, where you're maybe talking to your audience, or you're selling something at the webinar itself, you will have a webinar up and running, okay? Now, my goal is obviously that you're selling something by the end of this webinar, and we teach you how to sell your programs with this program. I, in fact, teach you how to build a course using webinars, right? Build an actual course using webinars, and which is called a boot camp, and then using webinars to sell that course. So by the end of this, you will at least have an idea for getting your course out there, right? You'll have a sales webinar for that course if you already have one, or you'll have the experience of actually running a live webinar, and then understanding what the power is of automated webinars, the scalability factor, and building your business, because that's what it's really all about. Okay, so here's a question I get. Will this program work for me if I want to learn about the power of webinars in general, right? Because as I said, this program has a lot of detail into the automated webinar or webinar funnel creation, which essentially is mostly automated webinars. But the biggest difference, here's something you need to understand. The biggest difference between an automated webinar and a live webinar is that one is pre-recorded and one isn't, right? And it's just a question of creating your perfect show with that recorded webinar to then put into a system that works for you over and over again, right? So one of my favorite funnels is driving Facebook traffic, right? Facebook ads to an automated webinar, and where that automated webinar then sells my program, and I of course make sales. Now, this also works. This also works for organic traffic. This also works for any other ad platform that you might be thinking of, whether it's YouTube ads or Instagram ads, right? And you saw that I had a training that I did all about what's called the promo video, right? I did a promo video masterclass, which was available here in this page, right? And a promo video is a great way to create a video, send traffic from that video into an automated webinar, where then you either make sales or at the very least, are building your email list, creating a know, like, and trust and rapport with your audience, who will, if they don't buy from you on that session, will eventually possibly buy from you, especially if you're following up with them in the way that I teach here in the Elite Webinar Mastery program, right? So that's why this program does everything. That's why it's, for someone who's just trying to figure out webinars in general, this is going to be a good program for you. Yes, I wrote this before. This program was designed to give you a fully holistic training when it comes to webinars, so that even as a webinar beginner, as long as you have a product idea to sell, like if you have a product or an idea or you're an expert on something, you can learn everything you need to know about webinars in this program, okay? And remember what I said. There are two funnels that I see here, webinar funnels and then, mini courses. And webinar funnels beat out mini courses every single time. That's what I've noticed. They beat out webinar mini courses every single time, the webinar funnels. And that's what I want to teach you. Okay. So here's something else. Now, if some people might be Easy Webinar customers. I'm an Easy Webinar customer. Do I get any deals? Okay, I might be getting that question. Because as an Easy Webinar customer, obviously we love you. This program comes with 12 months of Easy Webinar for free, which essentially is a value of $477. But it also includes the new version of Easy Webinar, which is actually going to be a higher price. But coming into this program, you get access to it for 12 months for no costs, right? After that, the price is $47 a month, okay? After 12 months of Easy Webinar for free, okay? Now, what's cool about that, do you think I could make a course on Instagram even though I don't have many followers? Ben, I'll answer that in a second. So, so even though we're increasing the price of Easy Webinar, you'll be able to get in and locked in at this lower monthly price in 12 months from now. Okay. Now, here's something for Easy Webinar customers right now, because obviously we're giving away this 12-month package, right, for free. But if you're an Easy Webinar customer, we want to do something for you. Okay. This is what we're going to do for you. We have a discount code available for Easy Webinar customers only. So all you have to do is send me an email at casey@easywebinar.com. casey@easywebinar.com. And I'm going to send you a discount code, all right, where you can use it on this page, all right, and get a discount, okay? You'll be able to get a discount on this program. Just shoot me an email at casey@easywebinar, EASYWEBINAR.com, and I'll send you the discount code that you can then put into the actual sales page itself, the shopping cart, the checkout page itself, okay? It's on the checkout page, all right? Okay, now I also get this from people who were already a part of Launch Stream, my coaching program that was all about the 4 different events that create the event launch blueprint. So Elite Webinar Mastery includes Launch Stream. So for those who were my Launch Stream students, this program actually goes beyond that. This goes into looking at the actual webinar life cycle, okay? And with that in mind, it's a bit more robust, okay? Now, the part of it that is similar to Launch Stream is that we still have these live classes. And for those who were a part of LaunchStream, you knew that the live classes where, it was essentially coaching, this is where you were able to ask me questions, where we were to look at your business or your idea specifically and see if we can figure out the type of webinar that it should be, the pricing, we worked on your pricing and things like that. So these 6 live classes are essentially going to be live classes that are Q&As that are going to essentially help you to build out your business a bit more, okay? So it's different, but at the same time, there are some elements that still hold true. For those who did go into that program, yes, you can definitely benefit from coming back through into Elite Webinar Mastery, because this is still about live sessions. It's still about accountability, and that, anytime you go through a program like that, anytime it's live classes, I've had people go through my coaching 2 times, 3 times, because they love the element of the working one-on-one. So it's a chance for them to work one-on-one, because oftentimes when we're doing the Q&A, yes, it's a group coaching, but oftentimes I give a lot of personal attention to specific individuals, and I'll spend a good amount of time on those people. And that's where the value is. And normally for just coaching with me personally, one-on-one alone, it costs way more than what this program is, right? For the amount of content and the time element that you're going to be getting with me one-on-one in this program, the value is insane, because as I said, to just work one-on-one with me, it would cost a lot more than this. Okay, now there might be some confusion possibly. Let's say someone might say, I'm confused. Is Elite Webinar Mastery and Easy Webinar the same thing? So here's the thing. Easy Webinar is the software. Elite Webinar Mastery is a high-end coaching program, essentially, like a mastermind coaching program, right? That will teach you how to use it effectively, right? So, it's like you have a Ferrari, okay? You have a Ferrari, that's the software, but now you need an open road for that Ferrari to kind of, to test the Ferrari out, to zoom at max speed, and a lot of people, when they get a piece of software, they don't really do much with it. And it's like buying a Ferrari and then only parallel parking it and just leaving it, in the street, right? Collecting dust. What I want to do is get you that Ferrari and then give you an open road. Let's say, somewhere, let's say, like in Arizona, where they have these long strips of open road where you can really, really test this out. You can really, put floor to the metal, test it out, the speed, the effectiveness, just the wind through your hair, right? It's the same concept with this. So this software is great, but oftentimes people just sit on it. So what I want to do is I want to not only show you a foundation for using webinars, because that's what it's about, but now I'm applying all this stuff to a specific tool that has been tested and proven to work for many different clients. And I want you to now be a part of that percentage. I want to put you in there, and coming through a program like this will help you to get there. We will help you to get to that point, where, someone like Amy Porterfield or, a few other folks, John Lee Dumas, or how they're using the platform. I want you to get there. You don't have to get there right away. Some people that use Easy Webinar are doing like $300 to $500 a day. Some are doing $100 a day. Some are doing $5,000 a day, and some are doing $20,000 a day. It doesn't matter. You don't have to necessarily be that person, okay, that's doing the 20 grand. Don't think of it like, man, I'm going to come into this program and suddenly I'm going to make 20 grand a day. No, that's not how it works. What we would do is we'd set you up so that you'd understand the foundation of how to build these things out so that you can create a business for yourself that you love, right? Or piggyback on the business that you have in existence right now, right? Give you an extra additional level in that business of success built around webinars. Because they've been proven. Here's the deal. Webinars have been proven to convert. They work well. They build a know, like, and trust. Even if you're terrible at them like I was, you can still be successful. When I first started doing webinars, I was god-awful. My first experience with webinars, I would share too much content. The internet would go in and out, and all sorts of stuff would happen when I would be doing my webinars. But, I still made sales. And it's because inherently webinars create a know, like, and trust. They allow you to connect on a deeper level with your audience. And the idea is that you want to be able to learn this stuff so that at the very end of the day, you can then apply it at your own speed. So the nice thing about this course is that you take it at your own pace, right? You can come to the live sessions, but you don't have to, because every live session will be archived in the Elite Webinar Mastery, the membership platform. Also, the live sessions, yes, they're important, but at the end of the day, we're also going to have an area where you can ask questions in the Facebook group. Okay, so you can go into our private Facebook group, go ahead and ask questions there as well, right? So just realize you have some options there. Let me see what other questions I had here. 1 second. Hold on, where did it go? Where did you go? Okay, so here's some other questions. Can I get okay, so some of you also might have questions about a refund on this program. And yes, we actually have a refund policy. We allow you to get a refund. It's a 60-day money-back refund. And here's the thing: to get the refund, you'd have to essentially just do the homework and show that you've done the homework. Show screenshots of the homework done. And if you show all that, you can get a refund, right? So we have a 60-day refund policy where you can get your money back as long as you do the homework. And you can read more about it on the page itself. But the idea is that, we want to give you the ability to come into this, right? And we want you to succeed, right? That's the thing. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work, right? That's the idea behind it. Okay, let me see if there are any other questions that we might be having about this program. For those who are just coming in right now, my name is Casey Zeman. This is Elite Webinar Mastery. I'm talking about my coaching program that is opened up right now. We have an early bird special going on till tonight at midnight. So at midnight tonight, the early bird pricing is going to go up. So you could still get it for another week, okay? Elite Webinar Mastery is still going to be available for another week from today. But the thing about it is that if you want to get the early bird price, you can come in by tonight. Yes, if you have a question, do let me know. There was a couple questions. Casey, could I create a course on Instagram if I don't have a lot of followers? Well, why would you create a course on Instagram if you don't have a lot of followers? That would be my first question. My second part to that question is, here's the thing. That first, that's kind of the bad news, that if you don't have a lot of followers, then why would you create a course? But here's the second part of that, which is kind of the caveat to that, is people that are your audience are the people that know less than you. So technically, you could build out an Instagram course as long as your audience has fewer followers than you, or they're not at a growth, at a growth pace as you with your Instagram, right? So if you think about it like that, it's based on your own level of knowledge. The people that know less than you are going to be the ones that are going to be your audience and eventually buy from you. So, it is kind of relative to say, I don't have a lot of Instagram followers. Well, you may have more than me. You may not have 300,000, but you may have 5,000, 10,000, which is still more than me. So, with that in mind, because of that fact, the people that know less than you will be the ones who are your audience, if that makes sense. So that was a great question. What other questions do we have? Let me just check the page here. 1 second. All right. How do I craft a speech to sell? Well, that's a great question. How do you craft a speech to sell? Well, that's what's nice about Elite Webinar Mastery, is that we give you a script that you can use to essentially sell your coaching programs, sell your products, sell your services. That's what Elite Webinar Mastery is all about. So again, let me quickly flag this up and talk about again what Elite Webinar Mastery is. Okay, just so you know what we're talking about here. Here we have the 4 core modules. Okay, right? 4 core modules. Let me just remind you what these are. That they're the webinar foundation, right? They are the pre-webinar, and they're the live event day and the post-webinar. 6 live Q&A classes that essentially are like hot seat and group coaching. Also included is my other coaching program, right? All the archive training from that, which is essentially how to launch a product using webinars. $10,000 worth of bonuses. So we roll in not just bonuses, but congruent bonuses to this program. So those bonuses are things like Infusionsoft or joint venture, how to land joint venture partners, or how to use Canva, how to use Haiku Deck, and a couple other things, how to use Facebook ads. You know, there are aspects of the bonuses that are completely necessary and very congruent to what this program is. And that's what this program essentially covers. So what I want to do now is I want to show you just some of the people that, some different funnels that you can take a look at, okay, that are doing it really, that are killing it right now. And then we're going to look at the sales page and we're going to follow up and I'll tell you exactly like some of the final things here, right? So let me very quickly share my screen. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay, so now you should see my screen. And what I want to show you first is I want to show you this particular funnel. Now, what's cool about this funnel is that this is a landing page of John Lee Dumas. And people are coming to this landing page essentially from his organic funnel. Like he created an organic traffic funnel and it's coming to this particular page. Now, he also did Facebook ads at one point that also covered this. Now, what people are doing is, you know, they're reading, they're checking out, you know, his story, looking at some of his testimonials. Hey, he has testimonials on the actual, you know, the registration page. You click on here, and it has a drop down where you can sign up to the webinar, right? And I want you to notice these dates here, right? These dates are the 22nd, which is today, and the 23rd. So he has today and tomorrow a webinar that's happening at 3 p.m. today. So that's in 2 hours, right? And I can sign up and register. And you know, get on the list for the webinar, right? So there we go right there. Now, what's going to happen is now I'm going to get emails about this webinar that's going to be starting up, right? So I go back in and I would click to go in from my email and into the actual program, which starts in about, you know, 2 hours or so, right? Now, this is one funnel. This is using Easy Webinar. And the power of this is that he's doing what we call block days. So he's streaming out the webinars in his attendees' own time zone. So I'm in Pacific Standard. So this is streaming in my time zone. He's having it stream today and tomorrow, right? And a couple times a day. Now, here's my webinar right here. And let me just show you what this is. Now, what I tend to do a little bit differently is I show, I block by 1 day and only show 1 day on the registration page, where John doesn't block at all. Sorry, let me revise what I said. He doesn't block his days. He streams out the day that he allows someone to register for the day that someone comes to the webinar and then day after, where I have people register for the day for not when they come, but the following day. And then they have a few different times that they could choose from, right? So they could choose the 11 a.m. and their own time zone. And then they register for my webinar, right? And now what's interesting about my thank you page here is that I actually ask them to go to the webinar lab, right? So click here to listen to the webinar lab. I actually take them, and this is kind of a reverse funnel, where on the thank you page, I'm actually taking them in to listen to some podcasts about webinars to get them excited and interested about what they're going to learn. And by doing this, you know, I take them through, it gives them a different medium to learn from while they're waiting for the webinar to start, because the webinar is not happening now, it's happening tomorrow, essentially 22 hours from now, right? So they're going to get the emails that count down to it and everything else, right? But before then, I'm giving them things that they can do right from here, right? And I'm saying, you know, that they can save in their calendar, boom, you know, they can click there, it saves right into their Google Calendar, and so on and so forth. Now, another example of, these are all automated webinars, by the way. Another example of an automated webinar is having it streamed for 3 times. So Dale has decided to have 3 different selections from the actual registration page itself. So today, tomorrow, and the next day, right? Those are 3 days. And depending on when you're coming here, obviously, if you click on for tomorrow, you're going to get 3 different times to choose from. If you click on it today, it's dynamic, so it's going to not show that 10 a.m. because it's past 10 a.m. in my time zone. It's going to show the next available time slot, right? And so on and so forth. Now, what's cool is that, you know, where other people didn't have video on their registration pages, Dale does. So Dale has a video, which I think is really great. A video on a registration page can work as long as it's very similar to what I mentioned in that promo video checklist, okay? It has to be sort of similar to that. But let's say that, you know, you sign up for a time and you register for the event, comes to a thank you page where on the thank you page, he has another video. This is using an easy webinar template, by the way. He has a video on the page itself here. He has very clear instructions on what to do here, right? And then, of course, you know, he says in the video, this is what you need to do. Save the date, get ready to, you know, take some notes. I have awesome training for you when you get there. And, you know, this link will essentially take you to a countdown page prior to the event starting, and the event is happening in an hour and 12 minutes or so, right? So we're going to keep that running. And let's see if we have another one. Okay, here's another one. This is obviously Amy Porterfield. If you guys know Amy, this is another automated webinar. So you click on the reserve your seat, and let's look at what she's doing. So her times are today. You see how she's doing it? She's doing it similar to how I'm doing it, where I block by 1 day, right? So I don't let them register for the same day. They register for the next day, but they come to the page and then they can register for the next day. So what I would do here is I'd register. I'd say, you know, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Casey. Register now. And she's going to bring me to her own thank you page. Now, the cool thing is that this is her own thank you page. This is not even an easy webinar thank you page. This is an easy webinar thank you page. And so is this right here. This is an easy webinar thank you page. And of course, this is an easy webinar thank you page, right? But you don't always have to do that. In fact, that's Amy, what she's doing. Where did I find Amy? There she is right there. She has her own page, and she's allowing the emails, right, to send out the unique link to the webinar itself. And the reason that she's probably allowing for 1 block day is because she wants at least a day to nurture that audience to try to get them into the event, right? And so these are just some pages that you can check out. This is exactly a type of stuff that we look at, we examine, and we try to get you to create in the Elite Webinar Mastery program, okay? In the Elite Webinar Mastery program. Now, when you come to the page, I want you to start with, this is all you have to do, by the way, to get access to all this is go to elitewebinarmastery.com/live. And you can actually start learning and checking out what each module is. So module 1, the webinar foundations. Module 2 is the pre-webinar phase, right? Module 3 is webinar day, right? And this is all pertaining to, automation, right? And then post-webinar phase is essentially the event launch blueprint overview, okay? And if you want to know the syllabus, like for those who want to know when the live classes are, these are the sessions that we have that we tentatively have built out, that we've started to have ready to go, okay? Now, I do say this, that I can change these dates at any particular point if something happens. And I might, so just be aware of that when you do come in. These live sessions might change, but you will get notifications of when they do. And then, of course, we'll also, depending on how many people are in the program, we will probably work with your schedule. So I want to make sure that there are people in Europe, in England, and other parts of the world that can still consume this course. So, if I need to tweak the times to work for you, I will, okay? But then you can read a bit more about what the course is, the course outline, and how you should consume this content. So there's some things you should know about this particular content. You're going to want to take this program at your own speed. Remember, this is not a race. Rushing through it won't do much good. My suggestion is go through the modules one by one and rewatch again and again if necessary. It's about going slow and steady. Use the course assignments to help. So we do have homework here. Try to work your hardest to fill out the course assignments to the best of your ability. Not every lesson has a homework assignment, but the ones that come with workbooks and homework requests are there to keep you on track for success and accountable during this program. And, you're going to want to join the members only Facebook group, okay? Feel free to come in there, connect with others, link up and find a buddy to help you rehearse or work on your webinars together, or tap into the networking opportunities that this Facebook group has. Please note, you can only share value in the Facebook group. This is not a place to post your pitching or your, spammy links or your affiliate links. You have to, make sure you lead with value, and then you can build awesome relationships, okay? And then, of course, if you come into the live sessions, you're going to get a lot of great clarity. That's the idea that we're doing with these live sessions, and a chance to work one-on-one. Now, another thing that I want you to think about is consume other webinars. Now, I'm a big consumer, and I know, I know that the best way to get better is by seeing what others are doing and learning from it. That's why in this program, I share with you certain webinars and Easy Webinar customers to follow and watch, because I know that their webinars for a fact are performing very well. And that's another thing that you get in this program, proper curation, okay? And I shared an example of that just a second ago with showing you a few of our Easy Webinar customers. Webinar advice from some of the top people out there, and not just from me. You see, we examine and look at what others are doing and how it's working for them, so that you're truly inspired. And, obviously, if you're going to want to learn about webinars, why would you not learn about webinars from a guy who's built a webinar platform that people are making money on? Because I have the 60,000 foot view. I see what people are doing. I see what works and what doesn't, and what people fail at. And I don't want that statistic to be you. I want you to actually have success with this. And that's why this program was built. It's called Elite Webinar Mastery. And again, this program, you still have the opportunity to purchase this program till next week, okay? You have a full week. So if you can't make the decision today, it's okay. But just realize that tonight at midnight, the early bird price goes away. So the price will be going up tonight at midnight. Okay. Everyone, I think that's it for me. I just want to thank everybody for coming in. Awesome. Oh, and Marcia, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Marcia. She said, "Hi, Casey. I signed up. I can't wait for the first coaching session. I watched all 8 in the first module. Was blown away." Oh, thank you so much. So this is what Marcia or Marcia just said. I'm so sorry about your name if I'm not getting it right. She said, "Hi, Casey. I signed up and I can't wait for the first coaching next week. I watched all 8 sessions in the first module and was blown away. Even thought even though I get 500 plus people on my free calls and use Infusionsoft already, my question, once we email you the homework for each of those lessons, do you actually read those?" Yes, I do actually. I want to see what you're doing. So yeah, I look at those. Now, I might not I'm not going to grade them, but they're more of an accountability factor. And I use them in oftentimes the live classes. So the live classes that are Q&As, I'll look at your homework and I might take out, okay, based on this module that we just finished, maybe the pre-module phase, and I'll have questions for you to answer. I'll say, okay, I see that Marcia, let me see, she wrote back, so let me just make sure I got her name right. Marcia, that's what I thought. Okay, so Marcia, she sent this in, and I like this, but let's look at this. So I'll use it as an example, and I hope that's okay, but I'll use it as an example on the program itself for those who do send homework in. Now, here's the thing. Some people don't send homework in, and I'm very aware of that. This is, an online course, so it's difficult to do so. But just think about this. When you take a program at a college, first off, think about what the college costs, the actual class might cost, and think about the fact that you get a grade on that. Now, technically, I'm not going to be grading you. The grade is you taking action and getting this stuff done, right? That's kind of the basis of this, right? Understanding how to do it, what to do, and then taking action. It's the person that's really going to be chasing you down with this is you, not me. It's going to be you really making sure that you're getting this done, because at the end of the day, this is for your business, right? This is not just a college credit. This is for your business. You're learning this to have clarity and transformation. You want to transform what you're doing already. You want to transform what might not necessarily be working. You want to raise the bar of what your business is at this point, right? And that's what this program is for. It's for you if you want to raise the bar, if you're going to stay accountable, if you're action-based, if you're going to be the person that is looking for clarity, looking for transformation on doing some of these steps. So Marcia, thank you so much for putting that out there. I appreciate it. Everyone, thank you for coming to this particular Q&A. We answered some questions early on, and I'm really excited to have everybody in this program itself. So if you have any questions, feel free to still ask. This is still going to go live. This page will be live all day long. Anytime you come back to it, you can come back to it and ask me questions, okay? Think about that question box on this page as a way to still ask me anything you want, okay? So there is that. This question box is there for you for that reason. It's there. Just put your name and email, ask me a question, and I'll respond, okay? All right, you guys, thank you so much for your time. You are all awesome. I will talk to you very soon, and I can't wait to see you in the members area, those who come into the members program. I can't wait to see you there. All right. Talk to everybody soon. And thanks again for those who have come into the program, Marcia and several other of you guys. I saw Tom and a guy named, I think it was Tom Thompson came in just recently. I have to go back and look at all the people that have come in. But welcome to everybody who's actually in the program itself. This is going to be fun. So thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.